ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. हरि ओम. वेदांत वाणी सुभाषितरत्नम अनंतं विभुं सर्वयोनिं शिवं संगहीनं यदोंकारगम्यं निराकारमत्युज्ज्वलं मृत्युहीनं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि. I am that eternal supreme Brahman, through a particle of whose bliss the whole world is rendered blissful. When it shines, everything else shines forth. Everything else seems worthy of rejection upon contemplating upon it. Spiritual realization is not impracticable even in the vortex of worldly activities, provided one has the necessary mental strength. Swami Tapovan Maharaj. Samsar is our own creation, so the entire responsibility for our limitations and sorrow lies only with us. Chintan. There can be peace or joy only when thoughts are not there. That condition where all thoughts are destroyed is the moment when Shiva is invoked fully. In our present condition, we are looking for peace or joy only from the objects of the world, be it objects, experiences, relationships. We keep on moving from one to the other, looking for the illusory joy, only to come back disappointed. But our quest does not stop, only to come back. Only the object's place keeps changing. Our senses are always looking outside. Mind whips us to go from one object to another. Traces of happiness which we got in the past from some of the objects of the world motivates us to continue this hunt. Desires keep arising. Thoughts keep on disturbing us. We keep on moving from one thought to another. Constantly we are planning, thinking new ways to get happiness. We have not realized the fact that as long as desires, thoughts are there, we will be unhappy. On acquiring an object, temporarily thoughts subside. We experience happiness or joy. We attribute this to the objects of the world. Little do we realize that we experienced our own joy because thoughts subsided temporarily. Hence, objects of the world to experience the joy. We can quieten our mind consciously and experience this peace or joy, which is our own nature. As long as duality is there, Shiva is not there. There is thinker, object of thinking, and process of thinking. The key in all of this is the thinker. We have taken the thinker for granted. The day we start questioning the thinker, our spiritual journey starts. Both in school, college, we are taught to think about objects we have taken ourselves for granted. That is why duality is reality for us. It is only the Guru who shows a mirror, as it were, to us and helps us to focus the attention on ourselves. The beauty is that more the attention shifts to ourselves, lesser will be the thoughts. Ultimately, when the real I is, as it were, known, the moment of self realization, one realizes that there is no other. The absence of otherness, non dual supreme state, is the moment when Shiva is invoked fully. All thoughts are destroyed here because thinker is extinct as though because there is no other to think about. In infinite, there is no limitation of space, time, causation. It cannot be defined, cannot be verbalized, cannot be thought of. As the self is the one which is behind all the above actions. In its presence, everything happens, but it does not do anything. Thus, in a self realized seer, Shiva is fully invoked, and there is absolute peace and joy. It is not a state to be thought of about, but a state to be truly lived. It is a state where no thoughts can reach. In its mere presence, all the thoughts function. Whenever the attention shifts away from Shiva, thoughts manifest. When we refocus back on Shiva, thoughts disappear. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj invited seekers to dwell in the feeling of I am, the doorway to the self or Shiva. He taught that the mind, with its constant chatter, survives when we forget our true essence. Stay with the sense of I will come and go. This awareness is being, this awareness of being is Shiva in his formless aspect. When attention rests here, thought has no ground to stand on. To remember Shiva is to return home. In that remembrance, the mind finds rest and thoughts lose their power. This is the disappearing act of thought, a miracle available to all who dare to look within. Let the attention return again and again to the heart of Shiva. Therein lies peace. In today's fast paced world, where the mind is constantly bombarded with information and stimulation. Japa Yoga, the repetition of a mantra, is one of the most powerful spiritual tools. Japa is not about repeating words, it is about directing attention to the divine presence, Shiva, again and again. In the beginning, while doing japa, thoughts may arise continuously, but as we progress, following changes happen. The gap between thoughts grow wider. The mind begins to dissolve and only awareness remains. The mantra leads us back to the silent presence where thoughts cannot survive. Japa is not about escaping the world but returning to the center within. Let your mantra be a homecoming. Source of joy. परम पूज्य गुरुदेव Swami Chinmayananda. So far, continued from previous issue, so far we have observed how the desire for the sun caused a storm of thoughts and how they manifested in the world outside as actions, and how the desired sun has objectified, as it were, for the happy father. The father at childbirth feels extremely happy. Why? Let us find out what exactly happens within him the moment he knows that his desire for son has been fulfilled. At that moment of the last or the first cry of the kid, or say at that awful moment when a foot long tender thing is placed between folds of cloth and laid on the father's lap. The inner ripples or agitations suddenly settle down. The thought disturbances caused because of the desire for a son sink down, and for a split moment, the mental stuff in its limpid clearness reflects the glory within. Ah, the joy! But the next moment it is gone. Why? A thousand other desires regarding the son and his comforts, the mother and her health, the nurse and her conveniences, all come up to disturb the glory reflecting medium, the stilled mind. So, the mind is at once the breeding ground of desire, the dung heap of contending thoughts, and also the glorious castle of perfect joy. When the mind is stilled, when it ceases from erupting its scorching lava of thoughts, peace is the subjective experience of the possessor of the thoughtless mind. Peace is joy. That is why in peaceful, dreamless, nothing but joy. From what we have so far observed, it is deducible that the joy in sun was not in the sun, but in the particular occurrence within which the birth of the sun occasioned. So then, The source of joy is not in the external world of objects, but is deep within us. And when the mind is at perfect rest, effulgent beams of the inner bliss flood the bosom with ineffable joy. The desire for objects creates disturbances which shatter our real nature of shanti or peace. The struggle of the urgency of the individual to get his desire fulfilled represent the urge of truth to assert itself. The spirit within is asserting to come back to its normal state of fullness. The tension in a bowstring is from the constant pull in the stem of the bow to regain its state nature. We have thus discovered from our observations that desire breeds thoughts, and thoughts propel us into actions. And when the actions end in successful fruition, the thought storm in the mind gets stilled. It is in this thoughtless mind that we experience our real nature, which is evident. The solution for the problems of life now becomes an open secret. Renounce desire, thoughts will end. When the Sankalpa Vikalpa uproar is hushed up, eternal peace is the Anubhava. This experiencing of the all full satisfaction and contentment, which is independent of the external world and the day to day circumstances created around the subject by the world of objects and the living condition, is the perfect, achievable, and to be achieved goal of life. This is life. This is Ishwara Darshan and Kaivalya. The yogins, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the Jivan, the Jnani's Mukti. Once having fully, intensely, and vividly lived this desireless state of perfect bliss in one's own experience, thereafter the world and its fleeting illusory joys cannot draw any response from the saint. The Jivan Mukta, the liberated in life, through varied experiences of joy or sorrow, honor or dishonor, peace or war, health or disease, heat or cold, ever equally well poised in all pairs of opposites, is the Mahatma. Godlike, he lives on, immortal among us, the mortals. Hail to him! I alone am. I am full. I am Shiva. Shivoham. So sings he, dances in peace as he sits upon his single simple seat, wrapped in a glorious feeling of absolute bliss, achieved the supreme Kritakrityata. You too can become a Jivan Mukta. Live wisely, live intelligently, be introvert. The outer world will be and should be as it is today. History, endless repetition of such social, political, and international crisis. And each generation had thought in the immediate living of its crisis that theirs was a time unparalleled in the long story of man. Within a given fixed arc, the pendulum of common life moves between peace and war. The world has tumbled on and on sufficiently long enough now to baffle all human efforts to fix things in their times. It is only a losing game to dedicate an entire life to bring about a perfect readjustment of the world. At best, a mere patchwork alone can be done by individual efforts. For to herald in a true Ramarajya, we have to make every human being live enduring spiritual values of renunciation and desirelessness, non attachment, and true understanding, which demand a common universal generation with Vedantic education. Then alone will annihilation guaranteeing atom bombs and deluge promising hydrogen bombs meet to distill for us the fragrant joy of a substantial peace and plenty. Let the world wait. It can. It has endured long and has lived through much sadder circumstances. Safety may be, we may will ever remain. Let each of us try only our best to complete our own self education. When 100 persons like you come forward to live the experienced truth, staying where you are, then that 100 would be the invincible redeemers team for world uplift. Their spiritual dynamism is the only answer for the material challenge of atoms and hydrogens. Please don't misunderstand by this that Chinmay is without sympathy for the present world. His words are really coming in flowing tears of sympathy for our sorrowful world, its deplorable values. Change the unhealthy, ulcerated, breeding values of lust, greed, selfishness, and extrovert desires, and come to live the glorious, life giving, permanent values of love, charity, tolerance, and introvert meditation. All is then done. The individual shedding his mortal weakness thereby rises in his essential nature of Godhood. This is an intimate experience ached out of life and not a utopian theory spun out of fancy. You have only to express your wish to know. The guidance shall in hosts come to wait upon thee. Sincerely pursue the path, and Chinmay promises for thee a pleasant journey to the eternal abode, where alone exist permanent joy and perfect peace. Ocean of Compassion, Swami Swarupananda. Pujya Gurudev was a limitless ocean of compassion, Karuna Sagara. Only one who knows the truth, who has a vision of oneness, can be such. The simile of an ocean is very apt, as it is a body of water, the limits of which can neither be seen nor fathomed. The rishis point out that one who knows the truth is not always capable of teaching the knowledge of reality to others. He must possess tolerance, forbearance, and patience. He needs to be an ocean of karuna, compassion. Gurudev bore much pain, faced numerous challenges, and was subjected to harsh criticism from orthodox pundits, even with threats of death. Many a time he went without a proper meal and spent sleepless nights traveling from place to place. He provided hospitals, Vedanta courses for brahmacharis, all at the risk of numerous personal difficulties. Compassionate Father, we human beings possess a unique psychology. Those who have suffered or undergone hardships to reach success feel that others too should endure similar difficulties. For example, a daughter-in-law who faced criticism from her mother-in-law rather than becoming more understanding becomes a nagging fault finder towards her own daughter-in-law. If you tend to become a domineering parent. Gurudev went through Herculean difficulties to gain this knowledge, but ensured that we would have no difficulties. Day and night, he traveled from place to place to raise money without ever making any demands. He graciously accepted whatever was offered as Guru Dakshina. Now we marvel at how much he did with so little. My first trip to Coimbatore was for my treatment at the Ayurvedic clinic. I had just come out of the ashram course and was filled with inspiration. Others who had completed the course with me had commenced Jnana Yajnas, but I had to go for my treatment. So I started giving lectures in the hospital itself. 10 regular patients attended the talks for 2 months. At the end, they offered on their own a sum of rupees 130 to me as Guru Dakshina. I sent that to Gurudev as my first Guru Dakshina. A lovely, encouraging letter came from him. Incidentally, my first camp in India, which I conducted with Gurudev, was in Coimbatore as well. The first official Jnanayajna was also in Coimbatore, at the end of which the total Guru Dakshina was 8,500. The Coimbatore, the Coimbatore, as overjoyed as it had exceeded all Guru Dakshinas collected in the past. Once, when Gurudev conducted a yajna in Delhi, the Guru Dakshina envelope was not ready. He was very particular that the subscription information regarding Tapovan Prasad and Balvihar magazine be given with the envelope. In this case, the organizers missed printing the subscription column. Gurudev was not happy about this. He firmly stated, "There will be no Guru Dakshina. I have come here to spread this knowledge. I have not come here take anything from people. I want books of Vedanta to reach out people. I want Tapon Prasad in every house. I want every child read Balihar. I don't care if people don't contribute to anything else, but I want them to subscribe to these magazines. Therefore, tomorrow there will be no Guru Dakshina. Even when people gave a meager amount and ticked the box of subscribe to Tapon Prasad, Gurudev would insist that magazine be sent to that person. Incon- Inconceivable benevolence. Gurudev was visiting Hong Kong for the first time after I became brahmachari. Just before that, I had my first major attack of ankylosing spondylitis. For 3 days, I could not even get out of bed. I was in excruciating pain. If Gurudev knew, he would come straight home to meet me. So, with the sheer support of his love, I left for the airport. And after a day in Hong Kong, Gurudev and I left for Taipei. Taipei. Gurudev watched me, literally limping and dragging my leg, seeing how he himself was moving around at his age. I never complained. I just tried to walk straight. On the last day, I bowed down to him. We were alone. He, I denied it. I had taken up brahmacharya to do his work. The only regret in my mind was, what if I cannot do this? What if I am paralyzed for life? He knew. He looked at me and said, "You are not well. It is painful. You don't have to conduct any classes or jnana yajnas. Take care of yourself." Then he added, "Don't feel sad that you cannot do his work. Just tell him, it's too bad you lost a good worker. Look at his karuna." Soon after, I recovered and traveled to Bangkok. For the first time, I was conducting 4 to 5 sessions a day and shared this with Gurudev. He wrote back, "4 sessions a day is too much. Physical body cannot take it. Don't overdo it." That was the strongest letter I got. He exerted himself so much despite his failing health, but took but look at his compassion for us. When my illness continued for years, Gurudev asked me to go America for treatment. He wrote to Guruji, "My boy is coming there. It is unbearable to see his pain. Make sure he goes for treatment." Flow of compassion. The scriptures declare, that this knowledge must be given to fit students, to adhikaris. But Gurudev's compassion, like the Ganga, to follow to all alike. When people commented that this knowledge should be given only to qualified students, he would retort, who am I to say who is fit and who is unfit? When someone suggested that Gurudev should choose his disciples, he replied, is the Guru partial to choose his disciple? Whoever follows instructions, whoever disciplines himself is my disciple. A realized master takes on the karma phala of his disciples. Once a person apologized to Gurudev, you gave me this position, you gave me everything, but I faltered. Should I do some austerities to atone for it? Gurudev replied, don't worry, I gave it to you. I will do the austerities for atonement. When this gentleman had a attack and the doctors had given up hope, his wife cried out to Gurudev. He replied, don't worry, he will be fine. Almost immediately, Gurudev had his first heart attack. Could it be a mere coincidence? A few years later, the lady's brother in law had a major heart attack. Again, she called Gurudev, believing that he would save him too. Gurudev simply replied, I had only one heart. I gave it to your husband. Such was compassionate Gurudev. News and reports all Karnataka youth camp at Chokkahalli, Hari Om, with the blessings of Pujya Gurudev, the All India Act, the AI Act intelligently. All Karnataka Youth Camp was held from 18 to 20 April 2025 at Chinmay Sandipani, Chokkahalli, Kolar. The camp was well attended by 100 plus enthusiastic youngsters from all over the state. The camp was inaugurated by lighting of the lamp by Puja Swami Gahananandaji, resident Acharya of our Mangalore Center, Puja Swami Shri Dattapadanandaji, resident Acharya of Chinmay Mission Kolar, and Shri Chandra Prakash, president of Chinmay Mission Kolar. All campers were blessed to perform Puja Gurudev Paduka Puja on the first day of the camp. The teaching of Karma Yoga by Swami Gahananandaji deeply inspired the participants, guiding them towards meaningful and purposeful living through the principles of Ishwararpan Buddhi and Loka Sangraha on the of attitudes of life. The question is how to perform duties that are not unpleasant or boring or mechanical, like adding sugar to plain milk. Add love to duty. Gurudev said, what you have is God's gift to you. What you do with what you have is your gift to God. This is Yajna Bhava. Perform all actions as an offering to the Lord. If karma is not done with this attitude, it becomes bondage. Mental peace is destroyed through rising ego, selfishness. Yajna power is doing duty with an attitude of being grateful to God. The 5 points of secret of success is outlined and summarizes Karma Yoga. Adhyatma Chetasa. By Viveka Buddhi, just like an ant picks sugar from a mixture of sand and sugar. Swamiji also explained path of Shreyas good and Preyas pleasant. Yudhasva fight on, do your duty. अर्पित्वम मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि. Do actions as an offering to the Lord. Nirashihi, without expectations. Nirmama, prasada buddhi. It is not only one's efforts, but success factors are many. So don't expect recognition. Success needs energy, which will get dissipated through regrets of the past, excitement in the present, austerity for the future. Swamiji emphasized that both inner growth and outer personality are important. He also explained respect are required to secure happy relationships. The Vedic chanting processions conducted on day 2 and day 3 morning by Swami Dattapadanandaji was enriching, and learning the Durga Sutta in a structured and devotional manner was a profound experience for everyone. As a Seva initiative, the campus planted 8 coconut trees in the ashram, naming each one with the sacred names from Pujya Gurudev's Namavali. These trees will serve not only as a physical contribution to the environment but also as living reminders of the values and teachings imbibed during the camp. The camp included a powerful video segment showcasing Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji in his full glory. His dynamic presence, captivating oration, and timeless wisdom left a lasting impression on the youth, offering them a glimpse say, into the depth and inspiration of his personality. A compelling dialogue between Chanakya and Chandragupta Maurya from Upanishad Ganga was shown, illustrating the deep wisdom of duty, selfless service. The scene brought to life the essence of Karma Yoga, how actions, when guided by clear purpose and discipline, can lead to transformation of the individual and nation through righteous leadership. Workshop led by esteemed senior mission members noted below brought diverse insights into the philosophy and practical application of Karma Yoga. Srimati Shalini ji guided the group through an exploration of real life challenges and dilemmas using thought provoking scenarios and group discussions. Through critical questioning, the participants gained a clear understanding of key Karma Yoga concepts, why karma cannot be avoided, different types of action, attitudes in Karma Yoga. Sri Arunachalamji contextualized the teachings of Karma Yoga and guided the participants through the concepts of Yajna Bhava, the spirit of selfless sacrifice, and Loka Sangraha, the importance of working for the welfare of society and its application to modern life. Sri Vijayanandaji emphasized Karma Yoga as a path of self mastery through Swadharma, control over sense organs, mind, intellect, and rising above pairs of opposites. He urged the youth to know yourself and act with inner clarity and purpose. Sri Guru Prasad Ji facilitated a highly interactive session that explored why man commits sins, offering a deep analysis of karma. Using a dynamic model of questioning, concept, explanation, correction, and summary, the session on the root of wrong actions and the path towards inner clarity and growth. A lively treasure hunt was conducted to highlight the essence of verse 30 of Karma Yoga, that every action is an offering to God and must be performed without attachments to its results. It brought alive the spirit of selfless action through fun and reflection. The trek to CT Betta offered a perfect blend of nature and reflection, made even more memorable by the serene breeze and panoramic view of Vemagal Kolar. Cultural programs featuring Bharatnatyam, singing, and acting based on the theme of Karma Yoga served as an inspiring celebration of creativity and spiritual connection. The sharing of personal experiences and commitments by the campers during the valedictory function was a heartwarming reflection of the deep impact the camp had on their lives and their strengthened commitment to being part of CHIC. Sri S. Ravi life and teachings. This created a deeper connection with his vision and wisdom. The Ashirvachana by Swami Gahananandaji and Swami Dattapadanandaji was a true blessing, leaving everyone inspired to carry forward the learning of the camp. The distribution of participation certificates and prizes added a joyful, encouraging note to the valedictory, recognizing the effort, involvement, and contribution of embodied the spirit of learning and spiritual growth, emphasizing the importance of continuing the spiritual journey through active participation in Chinmay Yoga Kendra activities, classes, encouraging consistent self-inquiry forward. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.